Three things I've learned since being in my 40s. First off, even though you didn't get the choice in aging, you do get to choose if you want to look your best while doing it. So wake up every day and put forth the effort into yourself, and you'll enjoy life a lot more. Second, it is never too late for you to learn a new skill and succeed at anything. So whatever it is that you want, go after it. Make sure you don't give up no matter what. And lastly, whatever it is that you are working on and you want, just put forth the effort to do the work and let God do the rest, and it'll all come together.
It's your internet mom again. I always talk about never giving up and to always keep going. But today I'm going to talk about a few things that I wish I had given up in my 30s and 40s. First one, give up those so-called friends who are always actually a little bit jealous of you and aren't really celebrating your achievements. You know the ones. They give you backhanded compliments. Here's another good one. Give up those toxic habits. Remember, they stack up and you become what you repeatedly do. Next, give up excuses. Someone said to me once that excuses are like armpits. Everybody has them and they all smell. That's a good one. Next, give up fear of failure. Failure is never final. It's a great opportunity to pick yourself up and to learn from it. Don't let it define you. Just remember, you can give up all those things I talked about, but just don't ever give up on yourself. See you next time. Mwah.
It's giving boss beach. It's giving boss beach. It's giving bad beach. Never ever play me like I'm ass. Never bring a nigga over where I lay my head.
Hey Rych Babes, it's your girl Dyor, and today we're talking about my 40-year-old babes. Though I have not been able to experience the decade of 40, I am only 34. I feel like it is still very important to get some wisdom and get some understanding from our 40-year-olds and to be able to just be ahead of time to prepare. So this video is just all about my 40-year-old babes giving out advice to really other 40-year-old babes and also anyone else that is 40 and under. So with that being said, Rych Babe, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below any life lessons or advice that you have for any other 40-year-olds. Really excited to hear what the 40-year-old girlies got to say. I will not be back at the end of my commentary. So you enjoy this video and I will see you next time.
Here are 3 things I wish I had known in my 40s that I know now in my late 50s. Number 1, being in your 40s is still really, really young. Enjoy every single day because it goes really, really fast. You're actually still super young in your 40s. Number 2, those premenopausal type symptoms you're experiencing, yeah, those are real. Trust yourself. Those are real. You're probably in perimenopause. Advocate for your health. There's going to be a lot of doctors who will dismiss you and not listen to you. Your symptoms are real. What you're feeling is real. Advocate for your health. And number 3, have a nest egg. Have some money set aside that only you can touch. I'm dead serious. You never know what might happen. What else would you guys add? Top 3 things I wish I'd known in my 40s that I know now in my late 50s. Part 2. I did numbers 1, 2, and 3 yesterday. Today it's going to be 4, 5, and 6. So here we go. Number 4. No is a complete sentence. You can say no, and guess what? You don't even have to qualify your no. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. You can just say no without an explanation. Number 5, boundaries. You have the right to have boundaries that protect you, that protect your family, that protect your peace, that protect your time, that protect your space. You can have boundaries. And again, you don't need to explain anything to anybody. And number 6, you don't have to keep toxic people in your life. Narcissists, they gotta go. Toxic people, they gotta go. In fact, I'm going to share with you guys an incredibly effective technique that I use. It's called the gray rock technique. How to go gray rock on somebody. It basically shows you how to do a no contact situation, and it works wonderfully. I'm going to share that in another video. But anyway, those are 3 more things that I wish I'd known in my 40s that I know now in my late 50s. What else would you add? I killed it yesterday in my comment section. I can't believe how many incredible suggestions I got. So thank you for that.
What I wish I knew about my body at 19 instead of 44. Don't start your day with a cheese Danish or a bagel. It is so delicious, but you will be falling asleep at your desk by 11. Start your day with protein and it just sets your energy for the whole day. If you're experiencing anxiety or overwhelm, go for a walk. Without your phone, go outside, go for a walk and look at things. Just do it until you feel better and just trust me, see what happens. It's a simple thing you can do and it can make a huge difference. If you're a female, you will not bulk up from strength training and you'll actually be protecting your bones and your immunity. Build and maintain that muscle strength as early in your life as possible. The best and cheapest self-care tool you can buy is these little sticks. I use these on my nails. I push back my cuticles after the shower and it just maintains a healthy nail and a healthy cuticle so that you don't get like the hangnails and the dryness and the bleeding and all of the cracks and need to go get manicures every week. This little thing will save you money. Unless you love your manicures, go get them. Sometimes that thing that seems overwhelming and terrible will handle after a good night of sleep. It's a lot harder to deal with stuff when you're tired. The negative things that you say to yourself about your body are not true. So don't listen to that.
Hi darlings, I'm turning 46 this month. So here are 3 things that I wish I knew in my 20s and 30s. Number 1, I wish I knew not to be afraid of change. If you're not happy with something in your life, you have got to fix it. You've got to change your career, in a toxic relationship. Time is literally the most precious gift we're given and you got to be happy. I also wish I knew it's never too late to start a good skincare routine. Key is to be consistent. Use skincare products that are good for your skin, that celebrate your skin. Like today, I'm using this beautiful skincare smoothie that I make with my Drunk Elephant products. I used the Proteini Polypeptide Cream, which is this gorgeous moisturizer that's going to like firm and it's a shot of protein for your skin. I also mixed the C Firma Fresh Day Serum to help with brightening and photo aging. Other thing I mixed in is the A Pacini Retinol Cream. This is gonna help with like the fine lines and wrinkles. I love this one. Okay, so number three, I wish I didn't compare myself to others. I think I've grown the most when I started focusing on what I'm good at, what comes naturally to me, and really celebrate my natural gifts and abilities. And that's it, babes. Bye.
3 things I know about female friendships now that I'm 40 that I wish I knew in my 20s. Number 3, we should be dating our friends. I'm not telling you to switch teams. I'm just saying we really should be spending more time with each other outside the group chat and outside the group events. Really take the time to hang out with each other, check in on each other one-on-one, and foster those friendships. 2, give each other grace. I wish I extended more grace in some of my friendships than I did in the past. And when I say give each other grace, we will put up with a lot from a man or a romantic partner, but we have less tolerance for our female friendships. We really need to extend more grace to each other, be more forgiving, and learn how to resolve conflict within a friendship without ending a friendship. Number 1, don't be judgmental. Your decisions are your decisions and her decisions are her decisions. They're not a reflection of you, and everyone is putting up with something in their relationship or situationship that's open to judgment. We should stop judging each other and just be supportive friends to each other. Tell me in the comments what are some things that you know about female friendships now that you wish you knew in your 20s and 30s.
Okay, so here are some tips that I would give, things that I wish I knew before turning 40. Number 1, do not care what they think about you or even what they say about you, because whatever's going on up here is what's going to go on out in here, and that's what's going to determine what you do with your life. Who cares what they say? Number 2, always do things that you love. If you're procrastinating about it, it means you don't want to do it. It means you don't love it. Never get stuck doing something you don't want to do. Take it from me. Don't go to school wasting money on these degrees and all these certifications if you don't want to do it. Listen, if it's not a passion, if you don't wake up excited and ready to go at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning, don't do it. Always do what you love. Number 3, travel more. Make sure you travel as much as possible. So important. Number 4, never go to bed mad at anybody, especially those you love the most, like your immediate family, your husband, your wife, your sister, your brother, your kids. Like, nah, we too grown for that. Like, definitely we not doing that, you know. Number 5, never say things you don't mean. Never say things that you don't mean. If you don't mean it, just don't say it. Work on self-control. Work on keeping that toxic stuff out. Just don't even say it. And number 6, surround yourself with winners. Always surround yourself with people you can learn from. Never be the smartest person in your group. That may be cliche, but make sure it's not happening. Make sure you have people that you can learn from, you can grow from, whether that's spiritually, mentally. I'm telling you, even people you can go to the gym with. Make sure you have somebody who can elevate you to the next way, to the next level in some capacity. Okay, those are my 6 tips, and I will be back soon.
5 things to do in your 40s so you don't live a life of regret when you get to your 70s. Stop saying sorry. Instead, say thank you. When you're late, say thank you for waiting. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for looking after me. But stop apologizing. The fastest way to grow your self-esteem is by praising yourself. Do not outsource your need for praise. Do it yourself. Makes you confident instead of needy. Upgrade your thoughts. Be kind to your mind. Fill your mind with positive thoughts. Say no more, but say it with confidence. Don't say, I'm sorry I can't come. Say, thank you for inviting me. I have other plans. No, that doesn't suit me. No, that doesn't work for me. No. Until you can say no, yes has no meaning at all and is always a disguised no. And say fuck more. Fuck off, fuck no. It's a very powerful word. So say fuck off more, especially if you're a woman. It gives you power. Don't apologize. Be your own authentic self is the best thing you can ever be.
Buying a house? Shut your mouth. Buying a new car? Shut your mouth. Getting married? Shut your mouth. Going on a holiday? Shut your mouth. Going to do a course? Shut your mouth. Got promoted? Shut your mouth. 99% of the time, the reason that our dreams don't come true when they are supposed to is because we open our mouth too soon to the wrong people at the wrong time.
Okay, here are some things that as a 46-year-old, I would have wished I knew 20 years ago. So take this for what it's worth, because I guarantee it'll help you even if you implement it now. So stop treating your body like it's a machine. What we do is we grind so hard, we push ourselves, we hustle, we don't sleep, and all these things happen. And later in life, you really wish that you actually took the time to sleep, because you actually realize that it's actually the time that your body restores itself. I would have spent way more time doing stretching and flexibility things rather than just solely weightlifting and crushing my body. I would have spent more time lengthening the muscles so that as I got older, I would still be able to move and not have pain because of this shortening that I didn't spend time lengthening. I would have paid way more attention to my gut health. I would have made sure that I was drinking things that were helping my gut hormones so that I would have more healthy gut bacteria, to have better moods, to deal with stress and cortisol a lot better than what I did. I would have learned how to manage stress and not to stress the shit out that wouldn't last past a year. I've spent a lot of time really focusing on things that stressed me out in the moment, and I kept reliving and reliving and reliving this information when really and truly all it was doing was damaging my health. I would have spent way more time learning how to regulate my nervous system and pay attention to things that calm the nervous system versus putting the body in overdrive all the time. These are all things that as a student who is doing their PhD in natural medicine and really paying attention to, regulating the hormones and taking care of my health versus being focused on illness and symptoms. You can do so many things right now to start preventing illness and really and truly honing in on your wellness. So I'm going to be posting a lot of information here that's really and truly going to help you regulate things like your stress hormones, help you get a better night's sleep, and help you really hone in on how you can live a fuller, healthier life by doing small things in a big way.
So I just turned 40 a week ago, and one thing that I wish I had learned a lot sooner was that everybody is not a manifester. And there's nothing wrong with that, like at all. But the problem comes in when you are wasting your energy trying to constantly explain your superpower to somebody else. I realized that a lot of people just really don't even have a vision, let alone be able to make a vision come to fruition. As a manifester, a manifesting generator to be exact, it's not always my time to be just super productive, like going against the grain and making myself do something or stick to a schedule will actually do more harm than good. I would be literally fighting for my life, trying to maintain, a daily schedule or even a monthly schedule. And what I really kicked up my productivity and really kicked up my life was just understanding when it was time to execute and when it was time to think and plan. So now that I've moved into my 40s, I really don't have the energy. I don't have a whole lot of extra energy to put forth, to things that don't bear fruit. And I quickly realized that explaining myself and, what my superpowers were and what my capabilities are.
Thank you for this question. I actually saw this question come up a number of times, and I would say that I would give 40-year-olds the exact same advice that I gave the 30-year-olds. Some of my biggest breakthroughs and growth spurts were actually in my 40s. In my 30s, I was newly divorced with 2 very young kids, and so my 30s were actually spent in chaos. It was spent in survival mode, and so I was kind of picking up the pieces from my 20s, and I think a lot of young women experience that type of situation. And so when I talk about fitness and spirituality and taking care of ourselves and therapy and all of those things, I really didn't dive into a lot of that until I was in my 40s. Now, I was always fit because I was an athlete, but at the age of 45, I think I was either 45 or 46, that's when I became a fitness instructor. So I was going, just going to fitness classes, but I became an actual certified instructor at the age of mid 40s. And one of my biggest breakthroughs in therapy didn't happen until just a handful of years ago in my 50s. I was in a therapy session with my husband, and the therapist said something that opened up this whole Pandora's box, and I haven't been the same since. So I'm here to tell you that at any age, you can evolve and stretch and grow. And I'll finish this video. I don't want to make this one long. The last one was way too long, but I'll finish this video by saying the reason I kind of pinpointed the 30-year-olds is because I have a 30-year-old daughter, and I provide her, with on the sidelines, I provide her with guidance and wisdom, and she comes to me for advice. And when she was going through a rough patch, when she had just turned, I think she was 29, going on 30. And the most helpful thing that I was able to do for her was to share with her some of the things that I had gone through at her same age, because I had my son at 24 and I had her at 27. So again, my 30s were very tumultuous, and that helped her more than anything, is me sharing my experiences, because a lot of the stuff that I shared with her, she didn't even know. She didn't know that I had gone through any of that. So that's the reason I chose 30-year-olds, because I'm actually a mother of a 35-year-old son and a 32-year-old daughter. So I hope this answers your question. I know it's a long answer, but that's basically it. So hopefully that helps.
If you're over 40, you should prepare to be a consultant. I know that since all of the layoffs are now hitting the tech industry, that a lot of white-collar workers are finally starting to understand what I have known for a very long time, and that is that when you get to be over 40, corporate America is done with you. There is a very good chance, the older that you get in your corporate job, that they are going to find a reason to get rid of you. Once you're over 40, especially once you're over 45, and if you're nearing or over 50, you are a short timer. This is not your grandfather's economy. This is certainly not even your parents' economy, where people could get a job and stay in it for 20 or 30 or 40 years and retire and have a pension or whatever. This ain't that. There's a lot of people who are like, why can't we do anything about ageism? We got to get these companies in trouble. That's not going to happen. The number of job postings that are fake, that they're never going to hire somebody over 40 for. You can't prove it. There are select individual cases where people have been able to prove ageism is the reason that they either didn't get a job or that they lost their job. But it's only when a person who works for the company says or does something really fucking stupid, like say, well, you're getting old, so we have to let you go. You cannot combat this. You can't fix it. You can't change it. And it's been like this for a really long time, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I can tell you, as someone who has had 3 career layoffs, my second one at age 48 and my last one when I was 54, it's not getting any better. You need to have a plan starting at age 40 for what you're going to do to make money if you lose your job and you're never going to be able to get a good paying full-time job again like the one that you had. People without a plan often end up working places like retail jobs, restaurant jobs, hospitality jobs. These are the jobs that are booming in our economy. Unfortunately, they are low paying. They are extremely difficult. They require you to have completely open availability most of the time. There's not much of a path for promotion, and most of them don't have any benefits. Those people, I worked in those industries for 15 years. Those people are the backbone of the country, and those jobs are really important. And, no diss or ding to anybody that works those jobs. But if you have gotten your butt in a cushy office job for the last 10, 15 years, and you are 40 or over 40, you need to have a plan. What I tell a lot of people who come to me for job search advice and for resume help is, what if you knew right now that you were never, ever going to be able to get another job paying what you were making, doing what you were doing? What if you knew that already? What would you do to make money? Now, I'm not saying don't continue to look for work, and I'm not saying that nobody over 40 is able to find another job. Lots and lots of people are able to go on and find another job, but there are a growing number of people who are not. And I have heard from them by the hundreds because of the articles that I have written about ageism and poverty and being laid off when you're over 45. Figure out what you're going to do. I suggest freelancing or consulting or upskilling into another profession that you can either start while you're still working, or something that you could activate very quickly with minimal training. For example, some people go into real estate. Some people become a traveling radiologist. Those jobs are in very high demand. But for many of us, myself included, there are physical limitations as to what you can do when you are over 45. And this is why it is just criminal and awful when we see people who are in their 60s and 70s and sometimes in their 80s bagging groceries or working as a greeter or like collecting carts at the grocery store. It's because they really need the money and there's no work available to them. And that area between 40 and 60 or 70, corporate America considers you unemployable if you don't already have a job. If you are over 40, sit down and figure out today what you would do. What else could I do for work if I knew that I was going to lose my job tomorrow and I would never be able to get another job like the one that I had? Maybe put it in a folder and it's part of your emergency plan if and when you get laid off. And especially if you feel like, ooh, things are not good at work. Ooh, I feel like they're going to lay people off. Ooh, I've heard some things. Some people have said some things to me. I got written up for something weird when I've always had great reviews, and now they seem to have a problem with my work. These are all warning signs. It's coming. You really have to think, what if they kicked me out and they wouldn't let me back in? You think it can't happen, but it can. What would you do? Figure it out. And good luck.
Not realizing just how important looks are and how much your appearance matter.
Catch that, T, because the first investment that I made when it came to me and my looks, my teeth. I had braces before, okay? I had braces before I got my veneers. And another thing, there is a huge difference between veneers and crowns, okay? These are veneers. My teeth are still behind these veneers. I don't have little chiclets. Those are crowns. Know the difference.
Being in my 40s, I've had to be more intentional about my mental health. So here's some things that I do. I don't allow myself to go down these rabbit holes anymore, because where your focus goes, that's where your energy flows. So I had to start putting these boundaries around my thoughts, because if I didn't, I would allow these negative thoughts to take me places that are unproductive, and I don't have time for that. I try to find something every single day that I'm grateful for. I don't care how big or how small, because I realize that gratitude truly does determine my altitude. And the more that I stay focused on things that are good, that are positive, that are hopeful, that my mental health is better for it. And then staying active every day has been super helpful for my mental health, because I realize that when my body is moving, my mind is grooving. So whether I'm walking, going to the gym, I have to do something to activate my body so that I can have that mood booster for the day. Everyone's mental health regimen is different, okay? But the reality is we all need to be doing something to take care of our mental health every single day. So let me know in the comments, what is it that you do to take care of your mental health? And on that note, stay healthy, be well, and take care of you.
Here are 5 things you should know by the age of 45. 1. Run your life like a business. Know your mission, vision, and core values. You should also set personal goals and plan for them. That means using a calendar and taking your calendar seriously. Also, have systems in place to measure your success. If you're not measuring your success, how do you know if you're winning? How do you know if you're losing? Also, if you're losing, how do you know when and where to improve? 2. Build your wealth. Own nothing and control everything. And we're not talking offshore. We're talking about domestically. Learn how to navigate the U.S. tax system and leverage it. When you learn how to navigate the tax code, you will then understand that legal entities such as trusts and corporations can be your best friend. 3. You should have a personal board of directors for your life. This should include people that you trust. They should have professional skills. They should be able to provide support. They should be able to provide guidance. And they should be comfortable with calling you out on your bullshit. In other words, they have to hold you accountable. Ideally, you should have a mentor, a sponsor, a coach, and a role model. 4. When you're ready for a vacation, think business trip. Combine business and leisure and make it tax deductible. If part of your trip is business related, you may be able to deduct expenses. These expenses include travel, lodging, meals, and transportation. So you're on vacation and you're thinking, what kind of business would I be doing? Anything related to your occupation. It could include meetings, consulting, training, webinars, seminars, you name it. And 5, learn loopholes. What are loopholes? You have white and black, then you have gray areas. Loopholes are the gray areas. There are gray areas in everything. In honorable mention, read your terms of service for everything. Stop clicking boxes and agreeing without knowing what you are agreeing to. Why am I saying this? Because companies are hiding arbitration clauses in their terms of service because they know the average consumer does not read their terms of service. They will click a button and just agree. And I'm not just saying that. Look what happened to Disney, where the husband tried to sue Disney because his wife had dinner at the resort and she consumed some dairy, which she was severely allergic to. It resulted in her passing away. And when he went to sue, Disney argued that he couldn't because there was an arbitration clause in his Disney Plus subscription that he signed up for. He had only signed up for a trial. He did not know that arbitration clause was in there. So since then, Disney has walked it back, but a lot of companies may not.
If you're in your 40s, here's some really important advice from a 53-year-old. Your 40s is the most important decade because you have a window of opportunity to reduce your risk of many, many illnesses and conditions, such as Alzheimer's. Keep watching because I'm going to tell you how you can reduce your risk naturally. Good brain health is really important to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. Approximately 50 million people worldwide have Alzheimer's, and that is set to treble by 2050. The good news is it's preventable. So how? Lifestyle factors. You should also know that if you have type 2 diabetes, your risk of getting Alzheimer's is a lot higher. Alzheimer's is diabetes of the brain. So here's what you can do. And even if you can only manage one of the following, it's still better than doing nothing. You don't have to try and be Superwoman and try and do it all at once. Start exercising. Improve your sleep. Gosh, this is so underrated. Did you know that each hour of sleep before midnight counts as 2? So better off going to bed earlier and waking up earlier. Reduce your alcohol intake. If you drink 7 or more alcoholic drinks a week, you're classed as a moderate drinker. This means that the alcohol is disturbing the grey and the white matter in your brain. And this can increase your risk of Alzheimer's. Now, I'm not an expert in this area, but feel free to go and do your own research. But lifestyle factors are extremely important. HRT doesn't help reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. I hope this helps, because Alzheimer's is one of those conditions which we all know is not a nice one to have. I should also add that Alzheimer's develops gradually, a bit like cancer, so you might not actually see any of the symptoms until way down the line, and once you have it, you can't reverse it. Medication can ease some of the symptoms, but it can't be reversed. Prevention is key, and this is what I mean by if you're in your 40s, you have this window of opportunity, because if it's going to start, it could potentially start in this decade. But that doesn't mean that if you're in your 50s or beyond, you can give up, because it's never too late to change your lifestyle. If you're in your 40s, here's some really important advice from a 53-year-old. It's advice that I wish I would have been given, and stuff that I wish I would have known, which might have made it a little bit easier for me as I entered my 50s. So firstly, you're not too old. You're not too old to start a new career. You're not too old to start a new hobby. And you're certainly not too old to leave that shit relationship or marriage that you might be in. Secondly, it's not because you're in your 40s that you're struggling to lose weight. It's still relatively easy for you. It's a little bit like you telling someone in their 30s that it's easy for them now that you're in your 40s. Well, I'm telling you in my 50s that it's still easy for you in your 40s. The third one, in my opinion, is the most important one. You have an opportunity to reduce your risk of so many types of illnesses, such as cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, osteoporosis, all of which will lead you to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. And you can grow old and enjoy it. That advice was free, so you can take it or leave it.
Listen, if you're a woman over 40, keep listening. Every woman over 40 needs to know this. Number one, it's never too late to start over, to pursue your dreams. It's never too late. Don't listen to what people are telling you. Don't listen to what social media is telling you. And when you get a certain age, it's over for you, honey. You can do whatever you want to do. If you've had some setbacks in life, life mishap, life be lifing, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Go after being the best version of yourself. And I promise you, when you get to the place where you're more concerned about bettering yourself, you don't have time to worry about and compare yourself to other people. And number 3, it's a kicker, honey. Your past, it does not define you. We all have a past, honey. Don't let nobody tell you they don't have a past. They lying. Everybody got a past, but hear me when I say this one lesson right here, really it took me years to get it. Just because you have a past, that does not mean you got to let that past define you. Use your past as motivation and inspiration to become the best version of yourself. Stop allowing people to even if they do try to throw your past up in your face. Listen, you don't live there no more. You had to go through that in order to be where you are today. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your journey, but it does not define you. And the sooner you can learn these 3 little principles, your life will it will blow your mind right in front of your very own eyes. I'm a living witness, y'all. It took me so long to grasp number 3. It really did. But I'm telling you, it does not matter. It is not too late, you guys. Make sure you grab my self-love journal, because I take you through the very steps that I had to do in order for me to get over my past and to become the best version of myself. I'm still a work in progress, and just like so many of you, you're still a work in progress. But I want this page to be the page where you come and know that it is okay to live beyond your past. You're absolutely enough. It's all inside of you. Go out today and be amazing. Share this with somebody that may need a reminder that it's never too late.